What we gonna do right here is go back. Way back. Back into time.
Okay, next topic is a fun one. We are going to do, each of us, our top 10 films of the 80s.
I'm preparing to be ridiculed.
Let's just say off the bat, we've omitted Eddie Murphy films.
Yes. No Eddie Murphy
No
films.
Eddie Murphy films because we're doing a separate list
Top 10.
Well, top 5.
Top 5
Yeah,
Eddie Murphy
Eddie
films.
Murphy.
Yeah.
So there's no Eddie Murphy films in it because
Yeah, for obvious reasons. Yeah.
So
we're going to start with Damien.
Let's start with Damien.
We're going to start
We
with
can really through the
Damien.
shit out of him.
Yeah.
Now, take into account that unlike these two old gits over here, I was born in 1985, so I'm only in my 30s still. So, with that being said, yeah, you're old, be quiet. With that being said, my honourable mentions.
Shoulder.
My honourable mentions. We're preparing for the ridicule.
5 hours later.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Ooh.
That's an honourable mention
Yes.
for me.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
good.
with that.
Yeah.
Good
That
one.
could have easily made the top 10.
I'm writing the
Easily.
CD on my
Nearly.
radio in my trucker going down the road with some weird Japanese helmets and amazing martial
Yes.
arts.
Yes.
Girl with green eyes.
Yes.
I've got honourable mention Lost Boys. Lost Boys, honourable
I
mention.
can see how.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wrath of Khan, Star Trek 2.
I'm
just
not
because
Trekkie.
I love when he
Wrath
screams
of
Wrath of
Khan.
Khan. Yeah, I was a Star Trek fan.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was a
not
Star
Trekkie,
Trek fan.
so that-
So yeah, I love Wrath of Khan. I think it's better than Benedict Cumberbatch when they redid it. Bloodsport with Van Damme. Kumite all the way. Bloodsport with Van Damme. Poltergeist. Because it scared the hell out of me when she got stuck in the TV. That was one for me. Scarface. Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah.
Was that 80s?
That was 80s. Believe it or not, that was
Holy
80s.
Oh, I
That
didn't-
was
I didn't
80s.
even-
Yeah.
See,
I thought it was just before 80s.
That's what I thought.
No, that was 80s.
Alright.
Early 80s. Nightmare on Elm Street. The first Nightmare on Elm
Okay,
Street.
yeah.
Just see Johnny Depp getting pulled through a bed and blood squirt up at the wall. What else was one I already mentioned? And I think that's all the honourable. Oh, this was two of them, very, very difficult to have honourable mentions because it could have easily been in my top 10. Was Rocky 3. Because it's my favourite of the Rockies. It is my
That's my
favourite of the
honourable
Rockies.
mention.
Okay.
Yeah, it is my favourite.
Clubber Lang.
Yes.
Yes.
If you don't enjoy Mr. T, who was the only true boxer
Yeah.
of all the movies.
Come here, woman.
Yeah.
Let's see what a real man can do. You remember?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Like, take me to back, he was Muhammad Ali's sparring partner. Like,
Yes.
Was it Muhammad Ali or Tyson's sparring partner?
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali's sparring partner. And he's brilliant in that movie.
Yeah.
And also, just to see Stallone and Carl Weathers sprint down a beach, if that didn't give you nostalgic feelings in the 80s, watching them two sprint down the beach.
If that didn't make you want to train,
Yeah.
that made you want to train. The best montage.
It's like, you don't move right. You don't move right.
I don't agree with the best
Oh,
montage.
you think
No.
Rocky 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you'd say because of snow in the
Yeah.
Alps and the
Yeah.
and then the drugs. Yeah.
No.
And
You
then
gotta watch it
Superman 2. Superman 2 was my honorable
Which one was
mention.
that one? With
That's the one with the
three.
three of them.
Yeah.
Because it's the best one.
Yeah,
It's
it was the best one.
It's the best
100%.
one.
Was the best one.
It's the best one.
100%.
So here comes the true ridicule where I put my top 10. So starting off at number 10, we've got Beetlejuice. How can you not have Beetlejuice in that one of Michael Keaton's best roles, apart from another film that's in my top 10 was in the 80s. But yeah, one of Michael Keaton's best roles by far. I love just when you go down to Beetlejuice's world and then the singing around the table just brings back so much nostalgia for me.
What is it?
It's
In there.
No.
It's one of them type of songs, and they're all dancing.
No, the dinner table.
Yeah.
And they pulled in the table.
Yeah.
What is the name of
All right,
the-
we'll come back to it.
We'll come back
We'll
to it.
yeah.
So that's number 10.
Yeah.
Number 9, and this is a personal favourite for me, just because it's one of the films that really got me into martial arts. That's Best of the Best. Because that was my Taekwondo film at that time. Actually, that's not. Is that shared number 9? Oh crap! I had 2 number 9s. I'm gonna have to throw out one more.
Okay, well, say what your 2 number 9s are.
It was
Yeah.
Best of the Best and Uncle Buck.
Oh,
Uncle Buck is one of
love
my
Uncle
favourite ever movies that John Candy did. The moment he sat in the head teacher's office, he's like, get a coin and get a rat to gnaw that thing off your face.
That weren't better than planes, trains, and automobiles.
It's That was nearly in my top 10, but that's a joint one for me because
Okay.
I watched Uncle Buck more as a kid.
Okay, and I watched Trains, Planes.
Yeah. I didn't see Planes, Trains till later on.
Yeah,
Uncle
and
Buck
I was
so
so
much.
cut up when I realised that he didn't have anywhere to go at Christmas. He was making it. That's
I
I was gone.
They tried to redo a film like that with Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis, where they're traveling in a car, and I didn't find it that funny.
I love that film.
You like it?
I love Jude.
I didn't think it was that funny, but you could tell they were trying to do like.
So what one's coming out?
So number 8. So
What one's coming out? Number 9, boy.
pardon my language. I swore. Because it's martial arts, I'm gonna have to keep best of the best in. So I'm gonna take Uncle Buck out. Sorry, I'm sorry, John Candy. 7 has got to be RoboCop. RoboCop was just. That was the first time that I truly believed that you could have an actor with special effects and it worked, even though it wasn't. It was so seamlessly blended, the way they did it. And just who can't get away from the Dead or Alive, You Coming With Me line. That's just a classic. Remember what the 80s was for me. And when the gun popped out of the hip, you wanted to have that gun pop out of your hip. Even though I didn't like guns, I wanted to have a gun pop outside my leg. And the villain was brilliant in it, which we spoke about the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
6 is Predator.
Yeah.
I missed 8. I missed number 8. Number 8 was Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Yeah. So 8 was Empire Strikes Back. 7 was RoboCop. 6 was Predator. Just because it's one of, I think it was my first introduction really to Schwarzenegger's first Schwarzenegger film I saw, apart from Conan the Destroyer. So Predator was the first one I saw, and you can't beat the hand clasp and the pushing the pencils. 5 is Aliens, the sequel to Alien, because that was the first one that I saw, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I love Bill Hicks. I'm just like, get in line. I just like a whole sequence I love. 4 has got to be Die Hard. Yep, Die Hard because it's brilliant. I still have, like, it is a Christmas movie. I don't care what you say, it's a Christmas movie. I probably will watch it this Christmas. I've never watched it at Christmas. I will watch it this Christmas just because it's a Christmas movie.
I agree with you. It's
number
a Christmas movie.
3.
It is a Christmas movie.
Batman, just because Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson was brilliant. Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale. You couldn't get a better cast to line up. And Tim Burton directing it at the time, he took what people thought was going to be a laughable send-up, especially after you saw what they did with the original series of Batman and Robin. Adam West. You didn't expect it to be good, and he made something that you can look back and be proud of. He made Batman cool. Yeah. So much so that Batman Returns I still think is one of the best sequels of a Batman film. 2 is The Untouchables.
Okay.
Untouchables.
Wow.
Just because 1 is probably one of my favourite Sean Connery films. Everything he ever did, his death scene in Untouchables for me, dragging himself through the corridor where he's being gunned down by the guy and he still manages to take him out. It's a beautiful death scene, and it's probably one of the strongest scenes where when Kevin Costner comes in and he grabs him, he says, "You still finish, you get him, you get Capone." I love that scene. And then the bit where he blows out his mouth in the outhouse, and he's already dead, and he's threatening the guy.
Yeah.
Afterwards. And then number 1, probably won't agree with this one, but Who Framed Roger Rabbit is my number 1 for me as a kid. Because I saw that as a child.
That's a classic.
If you didn't like
that's
Jessica Rabbit, like there was something wrong with you, she was a cartoon. But
It's about what chimed with you.
Yeah.
It's about, and I loved Roger, it's not in there, but...
Yeah. Like Bob Hoskins is brilliant in that movie.
100%.
Great.
Christopher Lloyd as the villain was eerie. The bit when he gets crushed and still gets up. It's just, yeah. So that's my top 10. There you go. That's my. I'm done.
That's actually a good top 10.
Yeah. He wasn't expecting it. See, he wasn't expecting it. He was expecting Footloose,
My Little Pony, Care Bears, something like that.
You know, so
He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
Right, so I'm gonna ridicule your shit now. What is yours?
It's you now.
You're up, bro.
The big dog.
Right, so I am. So as it was said, this is what hits me personally, not necessarily. You know. Anyway.
So no Oscar-winning films in my list. So
Anyway, so my honourable mentions first.
Yes.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Right.
Okay.
Love that film.
Yep.
Love the first film that introduced me to the Wayans is obviously Keenan Ivory Wayans, who's more of a backroom guy now, behind the scenes guy now, with the Wayanses. But he is so funny. So funny, such a good actor, and he's set the Wayanses up for what was to come later on. Another honorable mention is Running Man.
Yeah.
I love Running Man. It could have easily been in the list, top 10 list, but I felt there was a couple of films that hit me more than that. But I love that film. I loved as Leon loves saying, this is Sub-Zero, now Plane Zero. You know,
Yeah.
I love the guy, the world arm wrestling champion, who was the guy on the bike. He's now dead. I love that. Just love that film, man. Another one is Batman, the first one, as you said.
Yeah.
And Beetlejuice as well. Honorable
Now you
mention
got
there.
that as well.
Yeah.
You say honorable mention.
Predator.
That's a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Predator, first one. Honorable mention. Temple of Doom. Honorable mention. And also Back to the Future 2. Love that. Right. So now we get to the meat of it.
The meat and veg.
So for me,
Right.
number 10 is the Karate Kid, the original.
Okay.
For me, at a time in my life where I didn't have much, that film convinced my mum, for whatever reason, to allow me to start taking Taekwondo classes.
Okay.
So
Nice.
that resonates very close to my heart. You know what I mean? 9, Ghostbusters. How this is not in anyone's list? How this didn't make even your honorable mention?
It was nearly one honorable mention. I cut it down though.
I don't know. I remember the first time I watched, and I was a big Bobby Brown fan at the time, and that do you know what I mean? And that enticed me to watch it. But obviously, I knew about Ghostbusters, but I just loved that film from beginning to end. The whole cast was just brilliant. Whoever casted that film did a fantastic job. Even the fact that we now know that Eddie was meant to have Ernie Hudson's part. Ernie Hudson still, for me, blew it out of the park, and I can't see Eddie being in that role. You know, that's how well Ernie Hudson.
Yeah, he done well.
He done really well in that role. Number 8 for me, and I fully admit the film is rubbish, but as a Marvel fan, it hits me hard.
Okay, go on.
The Punisher.
Okay.
The original Punisher film with Dolph Lundgren.
Okay.
For me to see a Marvel Comics character on screen, in you know what I mean,
your dreams have come true.
For real.
Yeah.
And to see how it was played, which, to be honest, up until John Bernthal took over as the Punisher, they hadn't been able to replicate. The Thomas Jane film, it was too clean cut for me. The other one with Ray Stevenson, I don't know what the hell they were doing there. That Punisher really brought home the grittiness and the dirtiness of the Punisher's world for me.
So how the duck can do it for you, know? How the duck can do it for you, know?
Not quite.
Big up Howard the Duck. I went cinema to see that.
Number 7, Rocky 4. And I love Rocky 3. Don't get me wrong. I love Mr. T.
Yeah.
But for me, Rocky 4, just the training montage for that alone made me want to get up and go gym. Just watching Sylvester Stallone and then Dolph Lundgren and they the shape that they were in. That I think that's what enticed me. When I saw them both in the ring together, I was like, wow, they went all in.
They were carved out.
Like they were carved out of stone.
And we spoke about how old Dolph was in that.
Yeah.
Early 20s. Early 20s.
Yeah.
To be that developed. Is genetically superior.
Blessed.
Because he can't look like that.
Even Stallone though. Stallone was just ripped. He could have both of them could have easily stepped on stage now in either classic physique or what's the other one with the big shorts?
Oh, that.
Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about.
They could just physique.
I don't know.
But yeah.
But anyway, they could have easily stepped on stage.
Their waists. The waist to shoulder ratio.
Stallone looked almost like an older. There's points
Yeah.
where his shoulder was pulled, like his shoulder was
You
out
could
of place.
see each serratus muscle, like it was ridiculous.
Serratus.
Bro.
Yeah.
That for me, and then the fight, it's obviously him killing Carl Weathers, Dolph Lundgren's character killing Carl Weathers, and then,
revenge.
Yeah, man, and then he's coming,
friend.
he's getting bust up at first, and then, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And
Anyway.
he's remade it, by the way, so check it out.
Yeah, he's got his own cut, isn't it? Number 6, Bloodsport. I wasn't a massive Van Damme fan like he was, although I did like him at those times. But Bloodsport resonated with me not just because of Van Damme, but because of Bolo Young. Because Bolo Young, you can count on him to give a good account of himself when it comes to a role, especially a villain role.
Yeah. And the dragon is all you got to say.
Yeah. And that dude is, even if I'm sure he's a nice guy, but at that time, if I was to meet him and see him, I'd be shit scared because he's massive with muscle and at the same time he's highly skilled in martial arts. That's not a guy
Which
you
was
wanna...
unheard of.
Yeah, for a big guy to be
unheard of.
When he broke someone's neck, you thought he broke their neck.
Yeah, literally.
And his face, he did it better than Bruce Lee did, I feel. When he was like, he did what move was it in Enter the Dragon?
No, when he stepped to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he stepped,
yeah,
you was like, he's stepping on the soul.
Yeah.
He's stepping on the soul.
It's like he gave a little smile though. It's like, he went...
Yeah, like I'm loving this.
And then he switched.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I mean.
Fantastic.
Like, he stepped through the man.
He made Bloodsport for me.
Yeah.
He made Bloodsport for me. Not Van Damme. Although Van Damme gave a good account of himself, he made Bloodsport for me. But I just love the kumite aspect, the different fighting styles. I love that.
Yeah.
I love the fact that a very young Forrest Whitaker was in it. Everyone forgets that. You know what I mean? A very young Forrest Whitaker. So
there was the whole mystique around Frank Dux. Was it true? Was it?
Well,
not?
I think we all found out now that it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean,
story.
At the time, we were like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going on underground.
Yeah, Yeah. So anyway, my 5th film. This is the film that introduced me to Jackie Chan, Armor of God.
Oh, okay.
I love that film.
Okay.
I absolutely, and to now, it's probably still my favorite Jackie Chan film.
Right.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. For me, we all know that Jackie Chan loves the comedy with the action aspects because he tried to establish himself away from Bruce Lee, who was always hard and unbeatable.
Yeah.
And it worked for him. I thought that blended perfectly in Armor of God. I thought it was perfect. And then you had and then for me, the fight scene to beat all fight scenes for me was him against the 4 black women. That killed, because at that time, and you got to remember, that fight scene was ahead of its time, because at that time, where were you going to find, let alone one, not four, black women.
Yeah, black women.
Who were highly skilled in martial arts. Unheard of. So I have to commend him and his team for that. They were way ahead of their time. Yeah. Way ahead of their time. And
they didn't exist is they weren't allowed to.
They weren't. Yeah, especially remember we're talking about Chinese cinema.
Yeah.
So that's. I mean, now if you used to get that would be controversial. In China.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So at that time, and to find 4 because they were. I looked them up afterwards. They're all like world champions,
highly
like
skilled.
5th degree black belts and all sorts.
Oh wow,
fantastic! And some of them look kind of good as well. I ain't gonna lie. So that fight scene was and it was so comical as well with it. Do you know what I mean? And there was some real stakes in there because he was getting his ass handed to him at first.
Yeah, but that's just classic Jackie. Whatever he did in the 80s, he would get his ass handed to him, but he would still come back somehow, find a way to win.
Yeah. So for me, that was a fantastic film, and it really introduced me to Jackie Chan in a big way. Number 4. It's a somber film.
Go on.
Cry Freedom. It's it's the one that put Denzel on the map in terms of Hollywood. And it's a fantastic performance by him. Obviously, the subject matter is really... You have to be...
I've still never seen Cry Freedom.
You need to watch that film. But again, because I know you're like me...
It's a time and a place for that film.
Yeah. You've watched...
Yeah.
You can't just... let's watch Cry... No, you need to be in a decent state of mind to know, okay, some heavy shit's about to come, and I'm gonna feel
if
some
you got
kind of
any
way.
triggers going on, or
I've
anything
seen-
undealt with, don't watch it.
I've seen the courtroom scene. Where
Oh.
he gives an account of what happened. And he
That's a
goes to the
fantastic
court.
scene. I tell you the scene that and it's probably the same scene.
Yeah, go on.
The shooting scene, that massacre scene, where the police just did not give a shit.
Yeah.
And the white policemen were just gunning down these black protesters. All they were protesting was working conditions, and they just gunned them down. Even the kids,
Women and children.
the kids. They and this is all like verified. You can read about it. This massacre. They were just driving with cars and just gunning them down. How? And this is going for a little tangent, but how South Africa, when Nelson Mandela became president, how they turned the other cheek and did that Truth and Reconciliation Commission, I don't know. Because I'll be honest, I won't be able to do it. I'll be looking for vengeance. It's just me. But anyway, that film, seriously powerful. But as Leon said, you need to be in the right place to watch that film.
And his accent, from what I've seen in the clip, is great.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. So that was number 4. Number 3, RoboCop. After that film was so cool. Like you said, the villain, Clarence Bodyguard, even the higher villain, the older guy,
who was Ed 209 when he rocks up.
Even that, but the older guy, everyone forget he was a villain in Total Recall as well.
21 seconds to comply. You know,
do you know what I mean? Even that.
Fear.
When he first becomes RoboCop and he's hunting, when he finds out all these. And he's hunting each one down. And I remember when he goes to the nightclub, and then that scene for me kills it, because the guy's trying to, he's trying to arrest the guy. The guy pulls out a gun. He goes boom, and then some guy's dancing. Catches the gun. He's still rocking with it, and he's going bang. And he's on the floor, and he goes, let's talk. That scene killed it. Like you said, I cannot think. There's very few films that hit me in such a powerful way as that film did. But anyway, number 2, you've already mentioned as well, Die Hard. So I obviously were a bit older than you. I knew about Bruce Willis from Moonlighting. Do you remember?
Moonlighting.
I know what.
My dad used to watch Moonlighting.
And
then we used to watch it.
With
what's her name?
Is that Sybil Shepherd?
Sybil Shepherd.
Sybil Shepherd, yeah. You know, it never got on, by the way.
No, they hated each other.
But it worked.
Hated each other.
We absolutely hated each other. But it worked. But he was always known before Die Hard as the funny guy. He was not known as an actor. In fact, the story behind Die Hard was they wanted Sylvester Stallone and a couple other guys before they actually
went with sense.
Before they actually went with Bruce Willis.
Because I still love him in Death Becomes Her. I think it's a great song.
Oh, fantastic.
Death Becomes Her.
Yeah, I like
Plays a blind.
Yeah. But Die Hard for me, and it wasn't just Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis played a blinder, but Alan Rickman.
It's Hans Zimmer.
Alan Rickman smashes it out of the park.
It's Alan Rickman.
Oh no, you're one of them.
Yeah. Alan Rickman smashes it out of the park. You know what I mean? Like that scene in there where they've got the guy who turns turncoat and wants to just get, and he's thinking, he's not going to kill me. Do you know what I mean? And then literally he just shot him in the head. Don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Same thing he did to Takashi in the beginning as well.
Yeah.
When Alan Rickman did Hans, and when he did, was it Hans? It wasn't Hans. It was Hans. What's his last name? The character's name?
In what?
In Die Hard.
Hans Gruber.
We did Hans Gruber and the Sheriff of Nottingham. Those two were his
best
best roles. Because when he got to have fun as a bad guy, he had fun. He had fun.
But not only did he have fun, he was so good at it.
He was really good at it. He's a fantastic actor. He was a fantastic actor because obviously he's not around.
But
he was Rickman. Just a fantastic. And they could not have cast that. And I'll tell you what, the other one that did really well in that film was the one that played Carl, who's now also dead. He's right-hand man, the long-haired guy. Because he wasn't an actor.
No.
He wasn't an actor.
No.
He was actually a defector. He was a dancer. He was a ballet dancer.
And you can tell
He was
that
a-
as well by the way he moves.
Yeah, because he didn't know martial arts, but he obviously had the
throws a kick
flexibility.
like he could do it.
Yeah, because he had the
And
flexibility.
his death scene is the best death scene in the film. The way he hangs on the hook.
and then comes back.
Yep.
Dangerous.
What?
Dangerous.
Sad note to that, he actually died of alcoholism a few years after
Another
that.
one, but
Yeah,
that's that.
but yeah, that film and what he goes through, and what I love about that is they gave real stakes to the hero for once.
He's not a Mary Sue.
Right,
At all.
he's
In that.
at all.
The bit he's got the glass in his feet and he's it's just all those moments.
All those moments. Love it. And so, my number one film of the 80s.
Go on.
The Terminator.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So my mum and dad were a bit naughty. They let me see that film a bit too young, I have to admit. And I was scared.
It was scary.
Because for me, I was never scared of like Nightmare on Elm Street, all these horror. That didn't scare me. I'm like, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But then I thought to myself with the Terminator, imagine if that happens in the future and that guy comes to you and he's unstoppable. And then my mind just starts, do you know what I mean? But that film, especially for the budget, because you got to remember that was like literally a B movie budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they managed to do was absolutely iconic.
They changed
They changed the game. They changed the game. They changed the game. And that tells you how, because I think Terminator 2 is better than Terminator, and most people do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that tells you how good Terminator 2 is.
Yes.
But we'll get there another time, because that's a 90s film.
Yeah.
That's the reason why Terminator wasn't in my
But that
movie.
is
I
one
had
of
to
the
pick it. It's a
best.
90s movie.
That is one of the best ever sequels. Just
Just on a tangent.
It's
Probably
the best.
Probably the
I
best.
think it's my favourite sequel.
Probably the best, along with Godfather 2. But anyway, you haven't seen that.
Godfather.
Anyway, but Terminator was way ahead of the curve. Way ahead, even from the time travel aspect of things.
You know what else?
God.
The theme song.
Oh yeah.
Like deep.
Yep.
Deep. If that doesn't evoke emotion and just like anger, sadness, everything. That's when they cared about theme tunes.
Yeah.
A
Because
lot.
You could remember them afterwards.
Right.
You would
Yeah.
hum it all
Yeah.
down.
Like yes.
Because even, and going back, that's exactly what happened with RoboCop, because you all know RoboCop's
Yeah.
theme tune.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Terminator, that was a perfect film to make Arnie a superstar, because he was already a star by then.
Yeah.
But that was the film that made him superstar status.
Yep.
And as we know, that all happened by accident, you know, because he wasn't meant to play the Terminator.
No.
That was meant to go to O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
So that film really made Arnie shine. And for a guy with limited acting ability at that time, for James Cameron to be able to do that showed how great his direction was. And then obviously you got the mainstays in Linda Hamilton and the guy who played Kyle Reese, I can't remember his name. Michael Bean, that's it.
Even Lance Henriksen's that movie too.
Sorry?
Yes,
he is. Yeah, the policeman. Yeah. They all just played the blinder.
Because Schwarzenegger kills Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Nice night for a walk. Yeah. Bro, that film was just. I can't say anymore. But anyway, that's my list.
Yeah.
And
Good
now,
list. No, what do you mean?
we go to you.
Oh, me. Okay.
So your honourable
my
mentions.
honourable mentions are
Yeah.
The Sandlot. Do you not remember that? The Sandlot kids? It had
I'm not sure.
Right. It's got what's his name? James L. Jones in it, where he's a blind man with a dog, and the kids are playing in
I've
the back.
heard of it. I've not seen it.
It's just one of those that resonated with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
So I know you know about The Sandlot. Yeah. That's my honourable mention. Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I thought it was
80s.
like
Yeah.
91.
No.
No, that was 80s.
Oh, okay.
That was
It was 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 80s.
Yeah, it was.
So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
to me, because
Yeah.
I loved He-Man growing
I loved
up,
He-Man,
so
yeah,
it meant
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
still didn't make my top. Flight of the Navigator.
That was going to make my mentions. That
yeah,
put in
yeah,
there.
Flight of the Navigator.
I watched that film so
totally
many
forgot about
times.
that.
so many times.
Like that, Jewel in the Nile, Romancing the Stone. I watched those.
Hey, listen,
so
you've
many
had your
times.
go. Yeah, like you. Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But that's my honourable mention.
I'm surprised that's in your honourable mention.
Yeah.
I know you're a big Ghostbusters
I'm massive.
fan.
Big. With Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
As a child, who didn't want to
Play the piano.
Jump on the piano,
Be
be big, play with toys. You know, he was living my dream.
Yeah,
he was
At
living
that
my
time,
best
yeah.
life. He was living my best life.
yeah.
Yeah. So they're my honourable mentions.
Okie doke.
So number 10 for me, Stand By Me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just
Yeah.
you know, one of those.
I
I just love that film.
Yeah.
And I always just thought they were so talented.
Yeah.
Like
Well, they were.
that was when I realised that acting ability, like that was just something. Yeah, Stand By Me. Way, don't muck around, River Phoenix. That's all I'm gonna say. Gone too soon. So number 9, you was right. Empire Strikes Back. My favorite Star Wars.
Okay.
Loved Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
You know.
The moment he gets frozen, you're just like, no.
Yeah. And the I remember seeing the advert. You know, like when Luke jumps down, grabs onto the diving board, comes up with a sword.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I just loved the fact that I could get lost in a world.
Yeah.
Because when I watch films, mine was more about escapism.
Yeah.
Right.
I just wanted to escape.
Yeah.
Taken away from
Yeah.
you.
So that was one of those like, the aliens, this, Jabba the Hutt, this, that, blah, 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 blah. So they were the films that I used to gravitate towards.
Yeah.
What am I on? That was 9, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
Right, number 8, Rain Man.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rain Man.
yeah.
I just remember watching it as a child. Well, I say a child. I wasn't that young.
You were still a child.
I watched it then, but I watched it and appreciated it more when I was older. Once again, that's when acting became.
Yeah.
When I realised, because I didn't know Dustin Hoffman wasn't like that as a child. Yeah? Dustin Hoffman, that is one of the greatest roles ever. Because he didn't caricature, you know what, he didn't do it too much.
Overact.
Yeah, he didn't overact it.
Tootsie.
And Tootsie was a massive film. But he made it so, what's the word? He just...
It's believable.
It was believable. If you didn't know he was an actor, which I didn't, I thought that... And he was so consistent all the way through.
That was at a time when playing a character like that was hard to do because it was always deemed as like you don't touch characters because they can be sent up and it becomes comedic.
Yes.
And you have to have it. You have
so
to
hard
right.
to do that.
Yeah.
What he done. So he done some work. Right. What am I on? 7. RoboCop.
You know.
RoboCop's gotta be in there.
You know.
Okay.
Was yours number 7?
Yeah.
RoboCop, game changer.
Yeah.
Like you, saw it too early.
Yeah.
But my dad was, with certain films, my dad was like, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
You know, I remember watching Predator way too early. And whatnot. But, you know, I was one of those kids where, it's not really. I'm caught in the film.
Yeah.
You know, you have to judge.
You
judge your children by them, and not by when you're 13, you can do this. Because at 8, I was looking after my little brother. This was the 80s. Like it was what it was.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You wouldn't dream of doing it now. Okay, 8, 7. So number 6, the Explorers. Does anyone remember the Explorers with Ethan Hawke? When they were little boys and they make a spaceship and they go up to space.
I've never seen that, you know?
What?
Yeah.
Brilliant film.
Okay.
Like a child film.
Right.
So they're just 3 friends. Ethan Hawke, River Phoenix is in that again.
Okay.
So I think that's why. They build a spaceship, and then they actually go to space and they meet aliens and.
Oh right.
Yeah, it's deep.
Was that a Disney film or?
I can't remember, you know. I can't remember, but I will look for that one. Like even man, like I will look for that one. And Ethan Hawke and River Phoenix, they must be, I don't know, about 12. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke smashed it. Right. So See, you don't know my ones. What was that? 6. So what am I on? 5. 5 is where am I? 5 is the Running Man.
Okay.
Running Man. Here is your Sub-Zero. Now playing Zero. Yeah. Arnie, my hero. He was one of my heroes in the 80s.
Yeah.
The Running Man, I watched it over and over and over and
Still
over.
watch it now.
Yeah, and I'll watch it now if it came on. You know, when we was recording this, Total Recall was on, and I nearly didn't do this just to sit here and watch Total Recall.
And he's not lying.
I'm not lying. I love Total
Larry was
Recall.
talking to him, he was like, what?
Yeah, but that's not even, you know. So, what number am I on? 5. Yeah. Number 4, Total Recall. Total Recall. I love Total Recall.
Do you know what? It is a good film.
Yeah, it's a brilliant film.
And I remember at the time it was made. It was the most expensive film ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My number, what am I on? 3. Once Upon a Time in America.
Oh, De Niro.
De Niro.
Oh, okay.
Once Upon a Time in America.
Okay.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Just captivated
forgot
me.
all about that
The
film.
music in it. It's
His performance.
his performance was amazing. When they were children, the kids' performance, because it went through the ages. Remember, one went in jail. He come out. They looked after him. Once upon you lost in that from me. So if you see the films that I was into, was escapism and like fantasy and because I was one of those that would you know, make a spaceship in the corner and pretend I'm somewhere else. Like I'm going. I was more like that. See you lot of Bloodsport and all them things. I went on that. I weren't on that yet. I told you I'm still a lover, not a fighter. Do you know what I mean? But I fight for the right prize. But anyway, what am I on?
That was 3.
That was 3. Number 2. Back to the Future.
That nearly made my top 10.
And that's Back to the Future 1.
1,
1. Loved 1. Once again, you can see a pattern of the films that I like. I want to drive that car. I want to go back in the future. Don't want my mum trying to kiss me though. That's disgusting.
Do you know what?
But as a child, you didn't even get it.
Yeah.
Until you grew up and you realised, that's actually your mum. Like, and how that would feel.
I loved 1. I loved 1. I just slightly preferred 2, but 1 is
1.
I think 2 for me was because the hoverboard. You
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
that
yeah,
hoverboard.
yeah,
You just
yeah,
wanted it. And when the shark
Yeah.
comes down and tries to eat it, I was like, oh,
Yeah, but number one just had all the elements of, that was the fantasy going back. And it had been the first time I've ever seen like a, like time travel, real epic film. Once again, the soundtrack. Yeah? Is it John Williams that done that? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
John Williams, and then you got Huey Lewis in the news and whatnot. Like the soundtrack, amazing.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd.
Oh,
Michael J. Fox.
fantastic.
Love Michael J.
People
Fox.
sleep on how good an actor he really is.
He makes natural young person so easy to do. Yeah. But you can't do it. No. You can't do it. And we know that, who was supposed to be in first?
Oh.
What's his name? And it just didn't work. He played it too straight, too serious.
Eric something.
Eric
Stoltz or something.
Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
So
he was actually he filmed half of the film, and they just looked at it and they said, "This is not going to work." And they got rid of him. And
that's when you know you got money when you can film half a film.
Right. But the thing is, they didn't have money, and they really struggled to get Back to the Future. Yeah. And Michael J. Fox was between Family Ties. He was doing that in the day, and he's doing Back to the Future at night. Yeah. So if you look certain times when he's in the school, it's lighting outside, but you can tell when you know it's actually nighttime. But they made it look like the day, etc., etc. So lots about that. Number one for me, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And the Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom.
You call him Dr. Jones, though. Yeah? When I saw Short Round. Yeah, Om Nom Shubai. You know, listen, the darkness. You know, like when they went in, into the pushed the thing open and she got to put her hand through all them insects. I don't know if I could have done it. You two might just be dead. Yeah, you know, and she's like, they're in my hair, and then she starts it off again. Like, just so many iconic moments.
Monkey brain.
Yeah, chill. A monkey brain.
Is Temple doing the one where he shoots the guy with a sword?
No,
that's the first
That's
one.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. So
okay.
Temple of Doom comes in. Snake. Surprise.
Yeah.
What's the surprise? Cut it open and bare eels and baby snakes and stuff coming out.
Yeah, stuff they were eating.
It was mad. It was mad. All the children were slaves and
yeah.
Whoa! It was a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster.
That was the top one.
Yeah. I had one honourable mention as well, Lost Boys. Love the Lost Boys. That was in there somewhere, but
Soundtrack of that film as well.
Lost Boys.
Soundtrack was brilliant.
And the way they've put that into Morbius, and it's a vampire link. Genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
We were saying that yesterday.
we were
just talking about that.
We were.
Just remixed nicely.
So that's it, guys.
That's it.
That's all of our top 10s there.
Let us know what your top 10 is.
Yeah, please.
Top 5.
Do you
Best
agree?
film ever. Do you agree?
Have you seen those movies?
Yeah. Let us know what you think in the comments down below.
Peace.